Today, we have the privilege of recognizing a leader whose impact on the world of work, on workers, and on workplaces is truly unparalleled. Johnny C. Taylor Jr. has dedicated his career to shaping the future of employment, advocating for policies that advance economic mobility for individuals and strengthen organizations. As president and CEO of SHRM, or the Society for Human Resource Management, he leads a global network of nearly 370,000 members, influencing the lives of more than 362 million workers and their families worldwide. Beyond his leadership at SHRM, Mr. Taylor is a trusted advisor whose insights shape public policy at the highest levels. His weekly USA Today column, Ask HR, helps millions navigate the evolving world of work. It is our honor today to recognize his extraordinary contributions. Now please join me in turning your attention to the screens.
I'm a first-generation student. Neither of my parents finished high school because they had me very young, and they were teenage parents. Education is a great equalizer. So higher education really equalizes things. WGU is the type of school that I would have attended, but what I really like is that it's competency-based. You've literally created at WGU an institution that removes all of these barriers, focuses on what really matters, and that is, can you do a job on the other end of your run at that institution? When you walk across that stage, can you do something with that degree? It's where education matters. My hope is that the future of education and the workforce, that we will get to see it as a true continuum. The idea that education, the system, the institution, is the manufacturer of the product that we in industry or employers buy and consume. The one lesson that I wish I implemented more often in my career is that related to being a more empathetic leader. I think as leaders, we have a lot of pressures. We've got to make our shareholders, if you're in a publicly traded company, or your stakeholders, if you're not in a publicly traded company, happy, which means money's got to come in the door, employees have to perform, efficiency, productivity, etc. And sometimes you do that at the cost of empathy. You don't actually think about what your employees are experiencing, walking in their shoes, experiencing their lives, and how your decisions directly impact them. So the big lesson for me, and it's something that I try to be more intentional about than I have been in the first 20 years of my career, is to be more empathetic in my approach as a leader. As I think about what I would say to the graduates of the class of 2025, I'd say I want you to find the career sweet spot. The sweet spot to me is when you find that thing that you really, really, really are passionate about, that you can become an expert at, and thirdly, and most importantly, that someone will pay you to do. That's the career sweet spot. Too often we focus on, I'm gonna pursue my passion. That's overrated advice. Trust me, because a lot of folks pursue their passion and it doesn't turn into a job, and thus they can't provide for themselves. That leads to a somewhat miserable experience, at least as I see it. Or you pursue something just for the money. Well, that also can be quite miserable. You can be paid a lot of money and hate your job and hate your life. And also, and perhaps more importantly, people do things that they can only be good at. I think you have to choose something that you can be great at, so that there's nothing like the experience of excelling. So when I talk to the graduating class, as you think about what you're going to do for the next 30, 40, 50 years of your life, let those be the guiding principles. Can I be really, really good at it? Do I like doing it? And thirdly, will someone pay me to do it? That's the career sweet spot.
At this time, I'd like to welcome Johnny C. Taylor Jr. to join me at the podium. And I will also ask for the assistance of our Vice Provost, Sarah DeMark, as well as our trustee, DeWanda Franklin Davis, to also help me with this. I will give that hood to you. It's back upside down there for you. Johnny, on behalf of all of us today, we expressed our deepest appreciation for your leadership and unwavering commitment to shaping a better future for workers everywhere. It is truly our privilege to present you with this honorary doctorate of humane letters. Congratulations, Johnny. Together with that.
All right. Wow, that was a lot. Thank you all so much. I was a little nervous. She was trying to get it over my head. I thought I'd lose my hat, whatever. Good afternoon. I'm a Southern now. Come on. Good afternoon. What an honor it is to stand before you today, our future workforce. Early in my career, though, I was a thriving lawyer. And I thought that hard work was all it took to be successful. Until one day, I want to tell you, I was working, it was roughly 4 or 5 o'clock, 4:45 in the afternoon. I had a brief that was due the court by 5 o'clock. My secretary came into me and said, something's happened at my kid's school, I have to leave early. My friends, this is not something I'm proud to brag, I'm not bragging about it, but I looked at her and I said, no. In fact, I went so far as to say, your kid is your problem, not mine. It wasn't one of my proudest moments as I look back. You see, in my mind, it was a black and white decision. I pay you, you show up, you do the work, and that's how this works. End of story. Except that it wasn't the end of the story, at least not for me. Because it's in that moment and subsequent years that I realized I was missing a critical skill, one that no law school or textbook had ever taught me. My friends, I lacked empathy. And throughout your careers, you'll be tempted to make quick judgments of situations and of people. But I would urge you all to pause and put yourself in someone else's shoes. Because while hard work will take you far, empathy will be your superpower if you let it. You have to keep that in mind, class of 2025. And so since they only gave a brother 3 minutes, let me just tell you, I'm gonna leave you with a poem that I really take along with me wherever I go. And it's a reflection of an 85-year-old woman who realized that she was dying. And it goes this way. She said, if I had to live my life all over again, I'd try to make more mistakes the next time. She said, I wouldn't try to be so perfect. We all have these perfection fetishes, but what difference does it make if you can let people know that you're imperfect? They can then identify with you, because nobody can identify with perfection. She said, if I had to live it all over again, I'd relax a little bit more. I'd be sillier than I've ever been on this trip. In fact, I know very few things that I would take so seriously. I'd be crazier. I'd be less hygienic. I'd take more chances. I'd climb more mountains. I'd watch more sunsets. I'd go more places I've never seen. I'd eat more ice cream and fewer beans. I'd have more actual troubles and fewer imaginary ones. You see, she said, I was one of those people who lived sensibly and sanely day after day, hour after hour. And oh, I've had my moments, but if I had to do it all over again, I'd have more of those moments. In fact, I'd try to have nothing but beautiful moments, moment by moment by moment. Because in case you didn't know it, that's the stuff that life is made of, moments. She finally said, don't miss the now. She said, I've been one of those people who never went anywhere without a thermometer, a hot water bottle, a raincoat, and a parachute. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd travel lighter the next time. If I had to do it all over again, I'd start barefoot earlier in the spring and stay that way until later in the fall. I'd ride merry-go-rounds, I'd watch more sunrises, and I'd play with more children if I had to do it all over again. Class of 2025, congratulations. The future is yours. Chase your dreams boldly, embracing the power of empathy. And every now and then, don't forget to stop and watch the sunrise. Thank you for this honorary degree.